Joining us now is Lilia Garcia-Brower. She's California's labor commissioner. She's in town making sure farm workers know their rights. So Lilia, first of all, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. What brought you down from Sacramento that was so important to you and for our workers in the fields here in the Coachella Valley?
It is very important that workers understand what their rights are. And my presence is amplifying that because this is an ever-evolving, very traumatic, quite catastrophic situation for so many working families. And we know that once you hear something, you got to hear it a couple of times, especially when you're experiencing trauma. So we wanted workers hear us loud and clear that they have the right to supplemental paid sick leave and to regular sick leave hours, and we need them to stay home if they aren't feeling well, to get tested, and to exercise COVID protections while they work.
Yeah, in the best case scenario, these are really rough jobs, right? It's all day in the heat. It's literally back-breaking work. So in the best of conditions, it's a pretty brutal job. But in the COVID age, tell me about the working conditions for the field workers here in the Valley.
Well, unfortunately, we hear there's a lot of violations. Workers who work piece rate are not being paid all the hours that they are owed. There's a lot of confusion, which is why I'm here to amplify a message that even though you get paid a piece rate, your employer still has the obligation to pay you no less for minimum wage. So let's say you just picked for $7 an hour. Your employer has to pay you to meet that $12 or $11 minimum wage rate that's required. You have the right to a 30-minute uninterrupted rest break. You have a right to, a 30-minute uninterrupted meal break. You have a right to a 10-minute rest break. You have a right to be paid with a check stub that shows all the hours that you work, shows your piece rate so you can do the math properly and figure out if you're being paid properly. You have a right to be paid at minimum twice a month. And you have a right on your check stub, your regular paid sick leave should be on there. So you know what your account has and you have the decision on what it is you're going to use if in fact you find yourself or a loved one in the need of care.
Yeah, you mentioned hoping that sick workers would stay home to try to help curb the expansion of this disease. Are you seeing fewer workers coming forward?
We have been seeing fewer workers filing claims this year than they had at this same time last year, which is why we've been partnering with community leaders throughout the state. Here in this area, it's Todec Legal Center, to help write off their coattails of confidence with the community. A lot of times our vulnerable workforce, our immigrant communities, they are doubtful of trusting government. So I want them to understand that you can trust us. It is my job to help protect you. It is my job to make sure that the company is following the law. So please speak up. Communicate with our office, let us know where the bad actors are, and we are going to do something about it.
All right, let's talk real quick about AB 5 and Prop 22. How does that come into play?
So Prop 22 that passed on the ballot, what it does is it removes drive hauling workers, gig drivers, from the protections of the AB 5 statute that was implemented last year. But aside from those classifications, AB 5, the Dynamix decision, is still in play. So there's actually construction workers, janitorial workers, car wash workers, restaurant workers. Misclassifying a worker as an independent contractor goes far beyond the gig driving industry. That's where the attention was with this proposition and with AB 5. But the reality is that my office has been investigating these allegations for a long time, long before AB 5, and in many other industries before the gig economy was created.
All right, Lilia Garcia-Brower, the brand new labor commissioner for the state of California in your first year, and it's been a rough one. We wish you all the best and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.